Hey there, Tommy from the Run Testers. In this video we are going to be comparing the Adidas Adizero EVO SL with the Hoka Mach 6. Let's see what we think. The Adidas Adizero EVO SL costs £130 or $150. It weighs 224 grams or 7.9 ounces for men in a size 8.5, and the drop is 6mm. The Hoka Mach 6 costs £140 or $140. It weighs 219 grams or 7.7 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 5mm. The Adidas EVO SL takes learnings from the brand's top-tier performance shoes to provide a ride that covers everything from easy runs to race day. That's largely thanks to a thick layer of LIGHTSTRIKE PRO midsole foam that's designed to be soft, comfortable, and ensure a high level of energy return. The upper is made from a lightweight and breathable engineered mesh to deliver comfort and ventilation, while the outsole features a combination of continental rubber on the forefoot and clear rubber towards the heel of the shoe, aiming to provide grip and protection without increasing the weight. The shoe also has plenty of padding around the ankle collar, as well as a slightly rockered geometry for smooth heel-to-toe transition. The Hoka Mach 6 is a versatile training shoe designed for handling faster sessions with a smooth, lightweight ride. Improvements over the Mach 5 include a new supercritical foam midsole, as well as refinements to the collar and tongue, and a new creel jacquard upper. That upper is built to improve breathability and ensure additional comfort due to a dual internal gusset. The midsole has been modified to improve engine return, while the outsole features strategically placed rubber to provide a high level of durability and grip. The shoe is also available in a wide version.
So it comes to fit of the two shoes. I've got a UK 9 in both, which is a US 9.5. That is the size I generally use with both of these brands. With Adidas, I occasionally go half a size up, especially in the racing shoes, as sometimes they can be a bit cramped, but I was okay in my normal size with the Adidas Adizero EVO SL, and the same goes for the Hoka Mach 6, which again is also quite narrow and dialed in around the toes. I really like the fit of both of them. I'm a little bit small for my size though. It is a case you could look at going half a size up if you're big for your size, especially in the UK, given the way that the US-UK sizes convert, but I had no problems doing long runs in both shoes in my normal running shoe size, and in general I really like the fit of both of them. They've both got a little bit of padding around the uppers, but not too much as to be overbearing. I think some people don't like the tongue on the EVO SL, but it hasn't been a problem for me. It sits in place quite nicely. General, yeah, pretty much perfect uppers for me and a good fit in my normal size.
Okay, so the fit for me in these two shoes, the EVO SL, I went half a size up. I tried on 3 different sizes when I was buying this shoe over in Dubai. And with Adidas shoes, you normally in the UK go up half a size to get the fit that you want. Definitely the case with the EVO SL. I went up to a size 8.5. I'm normally a size 8, and it's definitely the shoe that I need. I did try on a size 8. It was okay, but when I was testing out a little bit, I felt like my foot was getting a bit too close to the end of the shoe. So I definitely go up half a size in the EVO SL. It's also quite a roomy shoe. There's quite a lot of space around the side of the shoe for an Adidas shoe, and probably that's because I went up half a size, but it does feel like quite a roomy shoe, so it's probably quite a good one if you have average width feet. So yeah, very comfortable shoe. I'd go half a size up in that. The Hoka Mach 6, as it's a Hoka shoe, you would expect that it would be a bit narrow. It is. When you put it on, it does feel like quite a restrictive shoe, and there's not loads of space in the forefoot as well. There is a wide version of this shoe, so I think if you've got wider feet, then you might want to go for the wider version of the shoe for a bit more comfort. The runs I've done in it, I've been absolutely fine in my UK size 8, but I do feel like it's quite a restrictive shoe. I've got fairly average width feet, so if you are a little bit over the fence with your width, then you probably want to look at getting the wide version of this shoe, but I would still say to your actual size in the shoe. Okay, so these are 2 great shoes if you're looking for a trainer to do your more versatile, faster training sessions in, but they're very different shoes when it comes to the ride of them. So I'll start with the EVO SL. Massive fan of the EVO SL. I think for the price, I think because of the technology you get in it, it's really punching above its price point. For £130 in the UK, this is a fantastic shoe, which I think most runners would be happy to have in their collection. The magic of this shoe comes from the fact that it has this LIGHTSTRIKE PRO midsole. It's very bouncy, it's quite soft, loads of energy return in it, and is really, really nice for running those faster sessions, longer sessions as well, if you're in tempo sessions, anything like that. I think for a lot of people, this would be a fantastic race shoe. If you didn't want to go all out and get a carbon plate race shoe and you just wanted something that was fast and loads of energy in it and felt quite light on the feet, this is a great shoe for that. I've used it for probably about 70k now. I actually think it's one of the most versatile shoes out there. I quite like this for easy runs. I think there's the soft cushioning and that little bit of bounce makes easy runs a lot easier. It's one of those shoes where you pick it up and you take it out for a run. I've just been out for a 10k in it, and recently I'm not incredibly fit at the moment, so a lot of my easy runs or general runs that I'm going out for normally sit around that 5 minute per kilometer mark, but when I went out and running this, I found that I was just running 4 minute kilometers, and it felt just as easy as a previous run in a different shoe. So it's definitely a shoe that really helps you maintain a nice pace. It gives you a nice bit of energy back. There's a lovely smooth transition in it. Just an all-round great shoe, especially if you like that sort of softer bouncy midsole. The Hoka Mach 6, similar vibe. You're going to use it for the same sort of things. It's a shoe that really excels when you're picking up the pace. It's great for intervals, faster sessions, tempo sessions, anything like that. It just feels very lightweight, very nippy on the feet. The difference is that the midsole foam is it doesn't have the same effects as the EVO SL. So that LIGHTSTRIKE Pro is very soft and bouncy and loads of energy return. This isn't. This is more of a shoe that it's a bit more conventional in the way that it rides. It's a little bit firmer in the midsole. It's not the firmest midsole around, but you can definitely feel that there's not a big stack of foam here. It feels more like a midsole foam that's just a little bit nippier, a little bit more balanced. You don't get loads of energy return from it, but the ride in it and the heel to toe transition really is great for running fast. You get a lot of responsiveness from it. It's a very fast shoe. I'm very much enjoying running this shoe. I think when I started trying this shoe, there are a few shoes that came out around it and after it that do a similar thing, but I think they just do it a little bit better. And that's not to say it's a bad shoe. I just think shoes like the EVO SL and the bounce that you get from it and the energy return, it just makes easier runs and faster sessions and intervals just a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit easier to do. But it's not a bad shoe by any stretch of the imagination. The other thing I'd say about these two shoes is that the outsole is fantastic on the Hoka Mach 6, good layer of rubber on it, nicely protects that midsole foam, you get a good bit of grip on it as well, and because of the foam, because it feels slightly closer to the ground, it's feels very stable. If you're doing switchbacks or anything like that, it feels great for those. It feels like you're fully in control, not slipping about. The outsole on the EVO SL, really good actually, surprisingly good. It's got this continental rubber on the front, but it looks very smooth when you sort of look at it and touch it, but it does have a good level of grip on it. It's continental, so it's very good rubber. The back of it has this sort of clear rubber on it as well, which is absolutely fine. And the good thing is I've not ripped the bottom off of these back bits, which I expected to when I picked them up. The only thing I would say about the EVO SL when compared to the Hoka Mach 6 is that because it's a bit softer, it's probably less stable. It does feel a bit higher on the feet, and when you're turning corners quickly, you can feel it. It's a little bit you are a little bit further off the ground, and it's a little bit more wobbly than the Mach 6. So the Mach 6 is a more stable shoe overall.
On to the run test then, and these are two running shoes that I'm a really big fan of. We've done quite a lot of that lately versus where I've been a fan of both shoes, and that's mainly because we've been comparing the EVO SL to some of the best shoes on the market. I think there is a lot of similarities between these two shoes and the way they're set up, with simple, lightweight designs that have enough cushioning to be comfortable but are still nice and light and speedy for faster runs as well. And there's a lot to like about both shoes, especially the fact they're both reasonably priced, I would say. Had the Mach 6 in first, and I've now done about 130, 140k in the shoe now, because I've used it quite a lot as a trip shoe because I like the way this shoe looks and it is so versatile. So I've taken it away on trips where I've done some pretty speedy stuff like 10 times 1k on the track and like long, easy to steady, like long runs and that kind of thing, and always really enjoyed using it. It's got quite a simple ride. It's not really going to blow you away in terms of springiness or softness. That's much more something you get from the EVO SL. It's got just a really nice balanced feeling to it, where I think you do get a bit of response. There's a little bit of a rocker. All in all, it's just a nice neutral platform that you can push against and run whatever kind of run you're going to do there. It's enough support and comfort for easy runs, I think. It's a pretty stable shoe without being overly wide or anything like that. Grips well enough, comfortable upper, just, a really simple shoe that's very effective, I think. Now, all that's true of the EVO SL as well, but I do think it has an additional gear thanks to the midsole you get on the shoe that is a better foam than you have on the Hoka. You've got a supercritical EVA here, whereas on the EVO SL, you've got Adidas's LIGHTSTRIKE Pro foam, which is a softer, springier foam. There's also a nylon shank in there to add a little bit of a stiffening agent, which might make a bit of a difference. It's also a lighter shoe, so all in all, it does feel like a faster shoe. It works better for fast sessions than the Hoka Mach 6. So whereas the Hoka Mach 6 just allows you to run fast through a nice simple design, I think you get a bit more assistance and punch from the EVO SL because of the foam you have in the midsole here, which really does give you a lot of spring and is a more aggressive forefoot rocker as well. It's still a comfortable shoe though for easy runs. It's got a really soft foam at the heel there, and if anything, the only problem you have with easy runs with the EVO SL is a little bit of stability, I'd say, compared to the Mach 6, which is not an overly wide shoe, but I do think the firmer midsole foam you have on it does give it a bit more stability. It's a bit wider around the midfoot as well. The EVO SL does get quite narrow there, and there is that little bit of a cutout on the medial side, so that does affect stability, but I have still enjoyed it for easy runs myself as a neutral runner, and you have got a really lively, sprightly ride for when it comes to faster runs. I did do a short run wearing both shoes at the same time, and that difference does come across. The Adidas feels peppier, lighter, bouncier, softer at the heel, more of an aggressive rocker, springier off the forefoot. Mach 6 just feels good, it's reliable, but it doesn't feel as special as the EVO SL does. So if you are looking for that more dynamic, energetic feeling for fast runs in particular, the EVO SL does provide it. Both very capable at a wide range of runs, but I do think the EVO SL leans a bit more towards the fast stuff, whereas the Mach 6 probably outdoes the EVO SL a little bit on the easier runs. Verdict then, if it's a straight shootout and you're looking for the best shoe between these two, I would pick the Adidas Adizero EVO SL. You've got a better midsole foam here, and that just changes the feel of the ride and improves it, especially for faster efforts when you're getting more energy return and a more aggressive rocker off the front of the shoe, and it is still comfortable and relaxed for easy runs thanks to the soft foam. If you're landing at the heel like myself, it's a nice squishy feeling there, and as long as you haven't got significant stability problems, I think it's okay in terms of rolling through and avoiding that narrow midfoot. Mach 6 though is such a good shoe, and it's one that I really do like. I think it's really versatile as well. I think it probably covers off easy runs and long runs a little bit better than the Adidas EVO SL. Like, I've done easy to steady long runs in both of these shoes, and if I was going at 90 minutes, I might lean towards the Mach 6 a little bit, whereas anything shorter than that, I do think the extra fun you get from the EVO SL might give it a bit of an edge for me, but really they cover off similar ground really, really well. And actually I do think there's enough of a difference here. You could look at combining these two in a rotation. Like, if you like lightweight shoes, if you're not going for a max stack, really cushioned shoe for your easy runs, I think the Mach 6 is a really good easy day shoe all round, and a general excellent daily trainer that you can use that's not giving you the feeling of assistance that you might get a little bit from the EVO SL thanks to that extra spring in the midsole foam there, but does have a nice natural feel at a range of paces and can still be used for a bit of everything, whereas the EVO SL would then fit alongside it as more of a speed focused shoe that you can bring out for sessions doing short intervals or tempo runs, that kind of thing. So I do think they could work in tandem quite nicely. It's actually a rotation that, as I'm talking, sounds really good to me, and it might be the rotation I'd pick out if I was picking up a set of running shoes from scratch, because they are such good shoes and they are both shoes that I really enjoy running in. But the EVO SL, if I'm just picking one, is the one that I am more excited to run in than the Mach 6, because that midsole just gives you a little bit more energy. It's actually cheaper in the UK as well, which is certainly an extra benefit all round. So yeah, I'd give it to the EVO SL for picking one shoe between these, especially as an all-rounder, but I am certainly very drawn to the idea of having both of these in a rotation.
Okay, so my verdict on these two shoes, I think they're both great shoes. I just think the EVO SL is a class above it for a certain type of runner. I think for most people these days, you're probably looking for that nice bit of energy return, you're looking for a nice bit of comfort and bounce. You get it all with the EVO SL. It's just a fantastically versatile shoe that you can use for pretty much anything, all the way up to racing. You can do easy runs in it as well. I like it for easy runs. I know Nick's not as big a fan for easy runs. For me, it's absolutely fine. It's just an all-round fantastic shoe. For £130, it's an absolute steal and well worth taking a look at if you're looking for a shoe for your rotation, for your faster training sessions, or if you just want one shoe and your focus is training for a race and you want to get a good time in it. I think the EVO SL is a great option. Hoka Mach 6, still a fantastic shoe, a bit more conventional though, and for me, I like a bit more softness and bounce in my shoes. I still think this is great for faster sessions. I'd probably use this more for shorter intervals, shorter, faster training sessions, that sort of thing, because I do like a bit more midsole bounce and energy return in my shoes, but it does have the plus point of having a bit more stability, and it's probably a bit more accessible for some people who probably don't want the overly soft bouncy feel of the EVO SL. But really, for me, it's quite an easy one. I'm going to just go for the Adidas EVO SL all the way. I mean, it's even £10 cheaper in the UK for this shoe, but even if it's the same price, I'd still go for the EVO SL. So yeah, EVO SL for me all the way. That's it from us on this Versus. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click that little bell. And if you go into the caption below, you can find it to our podcast, which comes out a couple of times each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.